Jaguars fans are absolutely losing their minds right now, smashing that panic button. Is it warranted? Let's talk about it. Now, I do want to introduce a new sponsor to this channel, and that is Game Time. Guys, when I go to the Jaguar games, I'm pretty familiar with where I'm going to be sitting just because I've been to the stadium so many times. But sometimes I go to like Orlando Magic basketball games and I don't really know where the seats are. I can't find like last minute seats. I'm not really sure what the view from the actual seat will look like. But Game Time is going to be a huge game changer for everybody. Now, Game Time is a fast and easy way to get your tickets to live sporting events, concerts, theater type of appearances, and all different stuff like that near you. Now, some things that put Game Time above the rest in the industry is the different flash deals and like last minute type of stuff. And it also tells you what kind of events are going on in your area. You get a view from all different seats inside of the venue. And one thing that's great, they have a lowest price guarantee. Also, they have event cancellation type of protection where, look, if you lose your job or some kind of tragedy happens to you, you're able to get refund for your tickets. Look, guys, the awesome thing is they're going to show you the price of your tickets right there up front, and there's zone deals that let you pick the section that you want, and then Game Time will go ahead and pick the seats, and that's going to give you an average savings of 18%. And look, if you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Look, download the Game Time app, create an app, and use the promo code UCFJAG. That's UCFJAG, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code UCFJAG for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Now, with that said, let's get on to this video. Now, before the Jaguar season started, look, expectations were sky high. I mean, national media people were telling us that the Jaguars are going to go 14-3. We're going to be the number one seed in the AFC. Well, flash forward to the conclusion of week 3, and the Jaguars are currently 1-2. Not even in first place in the AFC South. Right now, the Colts are all by themselves at 2-1 in the AFC South. And it's like, man, what the heck happened to us? And look, Jags fans are questioning everything. Look, and right now we're looking back and kind of looking at how the roster is constructed, first of all. I mean, you can't take away from Trent Baalke when it comes to the 2021 draft class that Trevor Lawrence, ETN, Walker Little, Tyson Campbell, Andre Sisco, bunch of good players from that draft. You can't take away from the 2022 free agency class. I mean, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, some of these guys are playing like really, really good football for us. So that's some good stuff. But then you also look at what's happened more recently. Look, the Jaguars drafted Trayvon Walker, number 1 overall in the 2022 NFL draft. And he hasn't been very good. I'll just say that. Has not been very good. And the thing is, the Jaguars way overthought about that draft pick. And you have Aiden Hutchinson over for the Lions right now, killing it. So why do I bring this up? The Jaguars have no pass rush. Look, before this week 3 game against the Texans, CJ Stroud was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. And then they're missing offensive linemen now. And then now the Jaguars go out there and don't even sack the guy. The guy is sitting back there comfortable in our own house, making all the throws, making all the reads, just comfortable, a moment where it's like, okay, look, CJ Stroud, he's got it. Like we are proof that CJ Stroud might be a great quarterback. Unbelievable. And also you look at some of the day 2 picks, like Chad Muma in the 3rd round. Like, was that pick really worth it? You look at Britton Strange in the 2nd round, Tank Bigsby in the 3rd round. It's like, look, we could really use some offensive linemen. We could really use some guys in the trenches. You're kind of sitting here looking at that, and it's pretty questionable. And look, all offseason, we've been refusing to sign any kind of offensive linemen, and especially defensive linemen. I mean, the fans were clamoring for defensive linemen. Bring an edge rush. Bring an edge rush. We need more of that. And then Balky's been consistent. We're fine. We don't need that. We're good. But now it's the lack of pass rush is very, very alarming and is very, very scary. Now, right now, the big thing with going on with the Jaguars is that execution is terrible, and it just seems like game flow issues. Now, what do I mean about game flow issues? Look, the last 2 weeks on the opening offensive drives of the game, there have been drop passes. In week 2, I think it was Christian Kirk that dropped a pretty easy first down catch, and then a Jaguar stopped and had to punt the ball. This last week, wide open throw to Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley drops it, would be a touchdown. He drops it, and guess what? We don't score a touchdown until the third quarter. And I am really one of these guys that thinks that something like that could totally change the game. Like, if Calvin Ridley makes that catch, what if the defense gets a stop next drive? And then what if, the Jaguars get the ball back up 7-0, and then their offense is clicking, they're moving, they're feeling confident. We drive down again and score a touchdown. It's 14-0. You know what I'm saying? And who knows what would have happened if he catches that? But I guarantee you guys, I see this so often. I get very, very worried when opportunities are left out there because I'm like, you might never get another opportunity. The opportunity might not come as quick as you guys think. You can say that inside of a football game, and you can say that during a season, like in the playoffs when the Jaguars, lost to the Chiefs, with the Agnew fumble. I was like, guys, like, we can't sit here and be happy that we're here because we're not guaranteed to come back here and be in the same position next year to be toe-to-toe with the Kansas City Chiefs in the fourth quarter of the divisional round of the playoffs. Now that seems so far away, and we seem so far away from really being able to call ourselves a playoff team. And look, there's execution everywhere, man. Guys not making their blocks, catches being dropped, Trevor not seeing the right guy open. Just an accumulation of a bunch of different stuff just makes our offense look bad, and it makes our offense look clunky. And overall, the trenches are bad. Like, I don't say this enough, but look, the game of football is won and lost in the trenches. And right now, the offensive line is awful, and defensive line is not generating any pass rush. And look, there is kind of help coming. Cam Robinson will be back week 5. So obviously we bring another good offensive lineman in there. I mean, say what you want about Cam Robinson. He's one of the top 5 offensive linemen, and he's going to be able to help us. Devon Hamilton will be back for, on the defense, and also DeJuan Smoot at some point should be back. So there is some help coming in that respect, but man, it's just right now we could use some help. And at this moment, it's got to probably come from being able to execute well. And then right now, Trevor Lawrence is getting some scrutiny from certain fans. Now, I know me, I am not really, I was pretty hard on Trevor Lawrence in week 2, but like, I think overall, when I'm looking at the issues on the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence is far from the issues on this team, man. Like, when I look, there's 3 big time drops. The PFF put this out today. 3 big time drops that, if they're good throws, but if they are caught, then Trevor Lawrence's QBR goes from 22nd in the NFL to 13th in the NFL. And, that kind of comes along with the game flow stuff. And look, Calvin really came here. He's supposed to be our number 1 wide receiver. He is supposed to be the A.J. Brown to Jalen Hurts, the Tua to, or the Tyreek Hill for Tua, the Stephon Diggs to Josh Allen. But right now, Calvin Ridley has 12 quarters played, and he was only good in those first 2 quarters. Since then, quite frankly, he's been a liability. Look, 2 false starts last game, 2 huge drops. And it's like, look, like, Trevor wants to go to his number 1 receiver. That's the guy where it's like, look, if you're in trouble, target him. And he hasn't been that reliable set of hands. And it's just a weird situation with him. Like, I heard that, like, getting out the field after our touchdown, like, him and Doug Peterson had like a 10 to 15 second hug. He wasn't really celebrating. Just like, weird. It's just very, very weird, man. And, when I look at this team, and I guess here, I'll go back and say this. Look, the Jaguars last game, they were establishing a run. They were running the ball so many times, but I don't know why we didn't try to play action more. Look, it was clear that we're not afraid to run it. We want to run it, but the Jaguars weren't trying to do play action. And right now, I think it's good to try to bring Trevor Lawrence out of the pocket a little bit. We're running a lot. Like, whenever we run hurry up, we seem to be doing good. I would run a little bit more hurry up, have more urgency, because right now I feel like this last game was like we lacked urgency. But then when we had urgency, we actually did pretty decent. So yeah, like, I would, try to do a hurry up, first down when the defense's run package is out there, go line up really quickly and do a pass on second down, and just try to be a little bit more dynamic, because right now the Jaguars offense just doesn't look dynamic when we thought this was going to be like an all-world offense from the offense. So yeah, when I look at this team, man, look, it's the same team from 2022. That's the crazy thing. When we ended the season so well, we made a little bit of a playoff run. Like, there's not that many pieces that are different. But I know right now, man, this team just needs to look at each other and wake up. And look, it starts from Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson had like the offense, defense, special teams, no unit was prepared yesterday. That starts up top with Doug Peterson. He needs to look at his coaches, understand the urgency. The coaches, need to look at their players, look at the captains, look at Trevor, just everything. It needs to be a trickle down effect, man. And I think going to London will be good. Get a little bit of an organizational reset. Go out there, be in a different environment. Hopefully that brings the team together. Hopefully we play with some urgency and we can just do a lot better, man. And look, I don't want to be in the same situation as last year where, look, the Jaguars were like procrastinating for wins, man. I don't want to be. Last year, the Jaguars did well later on in the year because we looked desperate for wins. At this point, I don't know. Like, do we want to just get behind so we can, like, last minute try to rattle off all these wins and make this late playoff surge and, be the hot team in the playoffs? Because right now, I wouldn't mind being like 10-3 at some point where we know the playoffs is guaranteed. And that's what I thought we were getting this year. Look, right when you think, oh, like Jaguar season's here, this is going to be fun, I'm excited, it's going to be different, it's going to be so much fun. It's like, nope, you're not allowed to have that. You need stressful weeks. You need to have a losing record at some point. You need to be questioning everything from the GM to the coaches to the quarterback to the freaking sideline body language, all this kind of stuff. I don't want to be that. I want to be good. I want to win games, but I guess that's too much to ask for my young and naive Jaguars. So, I guess at the end of the day, should we hit the panic button? I mean, sure. I mean, we can hit the panic button. I even said last week, I'm chill, I'm cool, but if we lose to the Texans, then I'm hitting the panic button. Look, the Jaguars lost to a Texans team that was missing 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen, 3 of their top defensive backs, and we got smoked. Absolutely smoked. We lost by 20 points to one of the worst teams in the NFL. Now it's like, okay, at this moment, we're not good. We're not good until we prove that we're good. So, I'll be continuing to watch every week. I think one good thing going for us is that there's still 14 games left in the season. We're only 3 weeks in. But, so far the first 3 weeks hasn't been very promising. And, we're hoping that we can kind of turn stuff around. But, we need an organizational, just everybody look at each other and say we're better than this. We got embarrassed 2 weeks in a row in our home stadium. We report here to work every day. And a team came in here, hasn't been here in a year, and kicked our butts. So, yeah, can't be doing that. But, yeah, not a victory Monday, not a very fun Monday. But overall, hope everyone's having a good week. Don't take football too seriously. Thanks, guys, for watching the video. Please do me a favor, drop a like for me on your way out. If you haven't subscribed yet, guys, I think I'm like 15 subscribers away from 17,000. Would mean the world to me. Thank you guys for watching. Go Jags.